Kirk Cousins' situation just took a huge turn. Things just got really complicated for Kirk Cousins, and in this video, I'll break down exactly what's happening. Plus, today's big news could change not just his future, but the entire quarterback market in the NFL. Let's start with the major update. According to NFL insider Adam Schefter, the Atlanta Falcons have decided to keep Kirk Cousins on their roster past today's 4 p.m. deadline. This move automatically guarantees him a $10 million roster bonus for 2026. So why does this deadline matter? Well, many people expected the Falcons to cut Cousins before the deadline to avoid paying that extra $10 million. In fact, some teams thought Atlanta was just bluffing, pretending to keep Cousins so they could force another team to trade for him instead of releasing him for free. But that's not what happened. The Falcons stuck to their decision, and now any team that wants Cousins will have to trade for him. This completely changes the situation because teams were hoping to sign him as a free agent. Instead, Atlanta now holds all the power in any potential deal. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Reports say that Cousins personally met with Falcons owner Arthur Blank, asking to be released so he could sign with another team where he could be the starting quarterback. This is kind of like when a kid asks one parent for something, gets told no, and then goes to the other parent hoping for a different answer. But it didn't work. Arthur Blank also said no. And here's one more key detail. Kirk Cousins has a no-trade clause. This means he can't just be sent to any team. He has to agree to waive that clause before a trade can happen. So now the big question is, what's next for Kirk Cousins? Will a team make a big trade for him, or will he stay in Atlanta? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Kirk Cousins' future. What happens next? If Kirk Cousins wants to start for a new team next season, he must waive his no-trade clause. That's a big decision because it adds another layer of complexity to his situation. Right now, he's still on the Atlanta Falcons and will receive his $10 million roster bonus, but any team that wants him will have to trade for him instead of waiting for his release. Which teams need a quarterback? As things stand, 5 teams are in need of a quarterback. 2 of them will likely draft the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL draft, leaving 3 teams still searching for a proven starter. Right now, outside of Kirk Cousins, there are only 2 experienced quarterbacks available, Russell Wilson and another former starter, possibly Aaron Rodgers, if available. These 2 will likely sign somewhere, leaving one team still needing a starting caliber quarterback. Who might trade for Cousins? The 3 teams most likely to be in the mix are Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, Minnesota Vikings. 2 of these teams could land Wilson or another veteran quarterback, but that still leaves one team without a starter. On top of that, some teams drafting rookie quarterbacks might want a veteran bridge quarterback until their young QB is ready to take over. The Falcons' strategy. Atlanta seems to be betting on desperation. They're holding on to Cousins, knowing that at least one team will likely get desperate enough to trade for him, especially teams like the Browns or Steelers, who are just one solid quarterback away from being real contenders. So for now, Atlanta is playing the waiting game, and the pressure is on the rest of the league to make a move. What do you think? Should the Falcons trade Cousins, or is keeping him the right move? Let me know in the comments. The Falcons hold all the power in the Kirk Cousins saga. The situation has now shifted in favor of the Atlanta Falcons. They hold all the cards, while Kirk Cousins has almost no control over what happens next. But here's where things get really interesting. The $10 million roster bonus that Cousins is set to receive in 2026 might not actually cost the Falcons anything. According to NFL insider Mike Garafolo, the $10 million bonus includes offset language, meaning that if Cousins is traded, his new team might have to pay all or part of that amount. What this means for the Falcons. If Atlanta trades Cousins instead of cutting him, they, Avoid paying the $10 million, since the new team could take on that cost. Receive trade compensation, likely a draft pick in return. Save a massive amount of money. Cousins' $27 million base salary plus the $10 million bonus means any team trading for him will be taking on a $37 million total contract. Why the Falcons chose to wait. If the Falcons had cut Cousins, they would have lost him for nothing and still been on the hook for some of his contract. Instead, by waiting and forcing teams to trade for him, they maximize their leverage and financial flexibility. Simply put, the Falcons played this smart. They can now sit back and see which team gets desperate enough to make a move. What do you think? Will a team bite and trade for Cousins, or will Atlanta end up keeping him? Let me know your thoughts. Will a team step up and trade for Kirk Cousins? Right now, if a team wants Kirk Cousins, the Falcons can simply say, sure, but you're taking on his $37 million contract. In return, Atlanta gets a draft pick and avoids paying that money. Who could trade for Cousins? There's still a strong chance that Atlanta finds a trade partner. Teams in win-now mode, like the Steelers, Browns, or Vikings, desperately need a starting caliber quarterback. And with very few options available, Cousins might be the best choice. In fact, there are reports that the Browns are restructuring contracts, possibly making room for a big move. Could they be setting up to trade for Cousins? It wouldn't be a shock. Falcons played it smart. At the end of the day, Atlanta may come out as the big winner. They took a strategic risk, paid Cousins an extra $10 million, and now hold all the leverage in trade talks. So what do you think? Will Cousins get traded? And if so, where will he go? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, check out this next video right here. And as always,